Alright guys, we're going to try something a little different. No face review. This is MTR's How Live Streamers Killed the Manosphere. Let's see what he's got for us.
Guys, buckle up. This is going to be a very interesting conversation, but I think that's one that's particularly appropriate considering the times that we are in right now. The past 3-ish years have been extremely interesting and a strange place on YouTube. Pre-COVID, I want to say I had somewhere between 10 to 15,000 subscribers, and now I'm sitting at a little over 500,000 subscribers, which is absolutely unbelievable. But there's one thing that I've learned.
Congrats to you, but how did I ruin the Manosphere?
My time here on YouTube that I wanted to share with you guys here today, and it's the concept that looking at things over a screen, looking at things over a monitor is a lot different than dealing with those things, those situations, and those scenarios in real time, in reality, in real life. For example, and I'm going to use a very crude example right now, the porn industry. Love it or hate it, the fact remains is that it's some of the most viewed content. It's some of the most
Pretty sure he said the prawn industry.
visited sites that exist on this planet. Okay? Within that being said, what you're fundamentally doing is you're watching a dude plow a young woman. Now, digitally, it's extremely viewed. But would you actually want to be in a room watching a dude do that to another woman as you sit over in the corner and watch it? More than likely, no. Ergo, my point, right? I think that this misalignment between what is...
Well, what is your point, though? I'm not watching it. Like, when I watch an action movie, it's not about when I'm watching a UFC fight, it's not that I want to be in the fight. I want to watch the fight. It's watching it that's enjoyable.
Conveyed to you digitally in the privacy of your own home versus how you should think, feel, and act towards situations in reality has caused for issues within the space. Now, I mentioned this before. I consider men's content on the internet to be what is referred to back in my MBA class, I don't mean to get technical, but a blue ocean. A blue ocean market is one of which has relatively little to no competition, has a well-defined niche, has a well-defined customer base, and a relatively low barrier to entry. And because mainstream media has completely ignored men's content, more than likely because men just don't spend as much money as women, in conjunction, the current woke narrative that has such a stranglehold on our modern day society today, which can deem male-focused content as being problematic because it doesn't put on a pedestal the way that a man might think, and instead tries to weaponize his mindset into being toxic or chauvinist or misogynistic. This, in conjunction with the decentralized nature of the internet and with the proliferation of video content platforms such as YouTube, has increased the widespread nature of all of the information within this blue ocean. Now, within this blue ocean has been several eras of manosphere content. Now, it started roughly 10 to 15 years or so ago with MRAs, men's rights activists, and then transitioned sort of at the same time to PUAs, pickup artists, and then transitioned to this sort of dating coach community. And then a little bit after that, and kind of at the same time as well, it transitioned to where I started at, which is much more of this social commentary, dating commentary, relationship, marriage commentary, commentary creating a burning platform using viral videos in order to paint a picture or to tell a story regarding issues impacting or affecting men. All right. Now, what's interesting within that is that I was actually the first content creator that consistently brought women right next to me onto the channel and would have discussions regarding all of the content that was deemed manosphere. And trust me when I say I received a ton of hate for it. Like a lot of goddamn hate for it, but it was what it was. I thought it was an interesting style of content that I thought it was important to bring in the other side of the equation of what all of this content was saying in order to battle test or to pressure test the concepts that was being taught. Each era of this manosphere content wouldn't have existed without the previous era. So what's the era after my era? Well, it was live streaming. RIP to Kevin Samuels. But what he did was genius. He leveraged the idea of taking these men's talking points in conjunction with the idea to bring women into the space to confront their unrealistic standards and expectations regarding men. And he married those things together and he did it live. It truly shook up everything. It was truly a sight to behold and to witness, and it forever changed the landscape. And also, it ushered in this content in this general men's space into the mainstream. Kevin's approach.
I mean, I agree. I'm not understanding how live streamers, but maybe he's getting there. Let's see.
Galvanized a conversation that men and women needed to have, a conversation that our society needed to have. And it put into question a lot of these mainstream woke ideas that have permeated throughout our society for decades, all within the ideals of trying to heal the wounds created by a society that had not looked within itself and critiqued itself because it would hurt somebody's feelings. And although you may disagree with Kevin, the things that he would say out of his mouth, you'd be hard pressed to disagree and say that they were completely and utterly untrue. But the one thing that Kevin was extremely criticized for, and I think he actually did a really good job of circumventing because he had his own platform where he can address these particular issues, was what he was saying, how he was saying it, which made it particularly polarizing. Then after Kevin's highest point came the Fresh and Fit Boys. A little bit later after that began the rise of Andrew Tate, and then eventually Sneako. And with them came even more live streams, came even more polarization, came even more eyes on the sector, and more community guideline strikes. But throughout...
So you're saying just because there's more eyes on the manosphere, that's a bad thing? Because people are learning about the manosphere? That's what I'm getting so far. I'm not really... I mean, again, maybe I'm not understanding. Maybe he's going to explain it better as we go on, but I have no idea what he's saying.
All eras of the content that I'm speaking about, in the history that I speak about them with, one thing that's remained consistent as the content has evolved and has iterated on itself over time, and that is the terms red pill and manosphere. I actually had a conversation with Kevin a few months before he passed, and I asked him flat out, I said, hey, brother, listen, do you consider yourself a manosphere or a red pill channel? And he immediately said no. He explained that because he had no control.
For the record, neither do I, but I do follow a lot of these manosphere red pill channels, and I do subscribe to a lot of the red pill ideas. Let's continue.
Over those two words and the branding and the image of it, as it is taken different ways by different content creators all over in the space. He said he wants nothing to do with them. Now, mind you, in my mind, as I'm listening to Kevin speak, I'm like thinking good, because I was thinking the exact damn thing. Because the fact remains is that all of the bucketing or the overlapping or the generalizations made regarding red pill or regarding manosphere has created a convoluted definition. I mean, you got some people that will say red pill just has to do with the movie The Matrix. You got others that liken it to, a political term. And then you got others that'll say that it has to do with dating and female nature. You got others that'll just say it's just
as far as I've always understood it, it is a metaphor that comes from that Matrix scene about taking the blue pill, plugging back into the lies that you're fed, or taking the red pill and waking up to the true nature of reality. So that metaphor can be applied to dating, can be applied to politics, can be applied to anything. It just seems that it's most relevant to dating and to politics, and those things do well on YouTube.
But understanding the truth. And then within that, you're going to get those that's going to say it's chauvinistic, it's incel material. But then also you get tech giants and then government entities that correlate it to right-wing, white supremacy, extremist groups that are conspiracy theorists. But with these negative brand associations, which have clearly reached as high as the Senate right now, the banning of Andrew Tate as well as Sneako is an attempt to draw a clear line in the sand of what is to be tolerated and what is to be not. I think Andrew Tate was banned for a variety of reasons. I think first and foremost, he was growing way too fast. And at the same time, he did far too...
What does that mean, growing way too fast? Like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're saying that as if that was something that he shouldn't have done, or that he should have worked not to do. What you... Again, maybe he'll explain.
Little to address the allegations that were against him. And at the same time, he did far too little to address the out-of-text clips that were obviously used to paint him within an extremely negative light. At the same time,
he definitely could have done more to address the allegations, and he definitely could have done more to address like the video with his girlfriend. But those were addressed, and he had said, how those were, things that he wished he would have done. I'm still not getting the bottom line here, and what it has to do with live streamers versus exactly what he's doing.
And I think he's playing a character for a lot of the most egregious things that he was saying. But see, I would look at his content and be like, oh, he's trolling right there. Oh, he's trolling right there. Oh, like he's telling a joke right there. But other people just didn't get that. At the same time, he didn't have his own platform in order to address all of what I just mentioned before. Sneako's banning, I think, is a little bit different. I think that the straw that broke the camel's back was the anti-Semitic mocking that happened during that clip that was played on the Senate room's floor right before the head of product at YouTube had to get up and speak to it. But I do think that they were watching his content because there's a component of his content that I am now aware of that gets a little bit conspiracy theorist, right? It gets a little bit Alex Jonesy, anti-government, which, by the way, if you are anti-government, that's one of the quickest ways to get your channel up for banning, because anti-government
Oh, all right. So then, yeah, let's go, Brandon.
can quickly be folded into the bucket of conspiracy theorists, and conspiracy theory is clearly outlined within the YouTube policies regarding community guideline strikes.
So let's just bend the knee and pretend that we don't see what's going on so that we can continue to talk about BS that doesn't matter. Gotcha.
So in short, live streaming has killed the manosphere.
No. What? You at no point did anything about them being live or saying live. Maybe you think their content was not good for the red pill space and the manosphere. But what does that have to do with live streaming in general?
In the moment, off the cuff, statements that can easily be taken out of context were sensationalized and then were deemed as radical. I think what the recent bannings have proven,
Again, that has to do with what is said, not the the platform on which they're said.
is that there is a cost to growing too fast while holding on to your particularly polarizing ideologies. And as content creators and live streamers that are looking at their analytics, you can receive this false positive from the viewers that are watching your content of what they want to see more like, and it causes you to constantly risk it in order to achieve the analytics biscuit. But what I think content creators
That's definitely not untrue. There's definitely things that I'm like, we may or may not get away with this, but I want to bring it to you. But again, that happens on regular VOD channels as well. So I don't understand what this has to do with live streaming. You know, if he wasn't such a big channel, MTR, I would think that he was just mad that he wasn't as big as Sneako and Andrew Tate. But I think, I mean, I don't know if he's as popular. Like, their names are definitely bigger, but he's definitely got a bigger platform. So I don't understand where this is coming from.
as well as their audience members need to understand is that the higher the influence, the more risk of being polarizing, and the more important it is to frame out and articulate your words succinctly. In short, I believe that if you have particular influence within your space and you're not just on your own website somewhere on the internet and you're using someone else's platform, you must yield your influence with great responsibility and understand that
Only live streamers, though, not anybody else. Apparently, only live streamers have this responsibility.
this is not free speech up here. Because see, there's a free speech and then there is a tolerable speech. And that tolerable speech is different from platform to platform to platform with, from my eyes, it seems TikTok has the most intolerable speech. But depending upon the platform of that tolerable speech, your speech will be supplanted by the ruling ideology of that company. And if your speech is not valued by that ruling ideology, or if you don't toe the line enough, then you won't last. So in short, you gotta
Don't even try.
learn how to play the fucking game. This is
I agree. You got to learn how to play the game. What does that have to do with live streaming? What you're talking about is specific things that you personally didn't like about Andrew Tate's content and Sneako's content, and its association with the red pill and the manosphere. This has absolutely nothing to do with live streaming.
tactical. And your rhetoric can potentially give up location. And now it's raining napalm. Anyone with that branding association, as we talked about before, is now guilty by association.
Exactly. There it is. You are worried about this. This is getting out in front of, hey, I'm not like them. This has nothing to do with live streaming. This has nothing to do with the manosphere being killed. This is, hey guys, I'm not like Sneako and Andrew Tate. I'm MTR. I'm different, which is fair, and I agree. He is different, but that's all this is.
But trust and believe, what I'm describing to you guys right now is just not on YouTube. It's literally every professional, every business setting or entity that exists in this world. There's none that just simply tolerates anything and everything that you want to come out of your mouth. There's decorum, there's normalcy, there's customs that you must adhere to in order to survive. Until next time.
So basically all he's saying, because he would not be saying this about Kevin Samuels' content. Like he said, Kevin Samuels did what he did perfectly, and it was live streaming. So again, I think this is just MTR's way of saying, hey, everybody out there, I am not like Sneako, I'm not like Andrew Tate, I might talk about some of that stuff, or maybe even not just me, MTR. Maybe he's saying the Red Pill community, the manosphere itself, does not associate with Sneako and Andrew Tate as far as MTR is concerned. Something along those lines. But this is not a video about how live streamers killed the manosphere. I don't know. What did you guys think? Am I off base? Is MTR on point about a live stream? I mean, I don't think he's wrong about the things he's saying. It's just, it's very curious to me why he's talking about this the way he is, and the fact that he labeled this how live streamers killed the manosphere. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live party every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until next time, I am Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, peace.